Hey, 3 more weeks and then I'm leaving LA. Yes, yes, I'm leaving this place for good. And then, of course, I'll come back. But anyways, today I'm going to be doing a movie review on a film I watched. I finished watching yesterday, and that film is, of course, Captain America: Brave New World. So this is another film from the ever expanding, never ending stream of Marvel films. I believe we're already at a point where all the, or at least most of the Marvel fans who grew up watching like Iron Man and the first Avengers in the mid 2010s have pretty much come to a point of fatigue because all the teenagers in the 2010s are already in their mid 20s in the 2020s. So at this point, we have so many other films to focus on and just life in general, to the point where Marvel has just become, well, for lack of a better term, amusement park films, which is, of course, the famous quote from Scorsese. But, anyways, Marvel still keeps pushing. After Endgame, they have been pushing one film after another, TV shows, and it has come to a point where I think 90%, maybe that's an exaggeration, I don't know, 80% of people who used to enjoy Marvel stuff has now found Marvel to be incredibly boring and repetitive. Now, we have Phase 5 of MCU, which started off with the absolutely embarrassing Ant-Man 3. There was, I believe, one film that I kind of enjoyed, but I honestly kind of forgot it. Hold on, let me see. Either way, I think Marvel is really grasping at their last straws in their most recent films. Yes, so Ant-Man 3, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which I thought was actually really good, and then the Marvels, which is Deadpool and the Wolverine, Okay, now we have Captain America 4, and it's also meh. Originally, this is supposed to be called Captain America New World Order, but of course, they are too scared to use this title because, oh, it's too politically insensitive. So they called it Brave New World. But, for a film that is so unafraid to say anything political, it's not so brave, isn't it? It's not so brave. So I guess the thing that comes before Captain America in the timeline is Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is a limited series that came maybe 3 years ago, and that was an absolutely boring limited series that, if I can recall, I can't recall anything from it. I just don't remember a single interesting plot line. But Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Captain America Brave New World pretty much navigates pretty similar topics. It's a political thriller, there's political instability, there's people who want to overthrow the government, and then blah 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 blah. And yeah, it's more of the same, except Falcon and the Winter Soldier explores themes of Falcon, played by Anthony Mackie, Sam Wilson, and him confronting the idea that he is black, but he has to represent Captain America now, which historically is extremely unfair and cruel towards black people. And that historical consciousness is basically gone from the new Captain America film. And so I feel like the new Captain America film is even less interesting and insightful than Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This is a movie about how Harrison Ford is the president now. His name is Thaddeus Ross, and there's this evil scientist guy who is able to mind control people and turn the president into Red Hulk because he's an evil scientist, and that's all the explanation you need. And that's basically it. And there's all the other conflicts and fights, but they're all just red herring, just snowball effect that sort of came out of this evil scientist. It's all the evil scientist plan. So immediately, this movie is already one of the most forgettable and most basic Marvel movies in recent memory. The conflicts are very basic, the premise is very basic. This movie is a hollow shell. Why is it a Captain America movie when Sam Wilson is can basically be replaced with like anyone else? Like if it's instead of him, it's like I don't know, Hawkeye. Like it would still kind of work. Like yeah, there's a president aspect, but at the end of the day, it's about fighting an evil scientist. And I feel like that had already happened like 6 times already in MCU. And then I think the even more egregious thing about this movie, though, is that this movie is awkwardly stuck between making pro American propaganda and trying to have something to say and having some kind of message about America and its problems. So, if you didn't know this, I think it's pretty obvious that when Captain America came out as a comic, it was basically pro America propaganda. It's pro America propaganda in the midst of Cold War, Vietnam War, all these things. And yes, it's good to have a hero that represents the people and the community, but really, if anything, the first Captain America movie is about uh, Captain America representing America fighting the evil people like Nazis and then so on and so forth. It's always about America. And so Captain America 4 has that interesting dilemma of now we have a black person as Captain America. How do we justify that? Which again is already explored in the limited series. Now, instead of actually exploring that socio-political dilemma and conflict, we have essentially a movie about how we have the president and he's just a human being. He makes mistakes, he gets angry sometimes, and we have just Captain America, Sam Wilson's Captain America, basically protecting him and trying to bring him to the good side. So, it's not the fault when the president lashes out. It's not the fault when the president nearly destroys the White House. It's actually just the fault of a crazy scientist. So, it's still very much pro government and pro establishment. Yet at the same time, it's trying to say something about America being the aggressor in all these international conflicts, but it merely dips its toes when it comes to criticizing America. Not only that, there's an Israeli protagonist that literally does nothing to the plot. Why? This is still very much within that American government realm. Like I think unironically, by having one of the protagonists be this Israeli woman, it unironically proves how much America and Israel is like tied together. Yeah, and then aside from that, the Red Hulk thing is supposed to be a plot twist. It's not supposed to be revealed that early. The CGI is pretty bad in some scenes. The aspect ratio changes are pretty annoying at times. And it also tries to be serious and less funny, but it just ends up being boring. So, yeah, it's just a very awkward movie and even more distasteful considering the absolute hell of a socio-political situation America is right now. So, yeah, not good. I mean, not terrible, but not good. Not really. Feeling a decent 4 out of 10. So, have you watched Captain America 4? Comments below. Let me know, subscribe if you want more, and thanks for watching.